Hello everyone, very warm welcome to all of you on the platform of KSG India. My name is Akhilesh and I'm faculty of geography optional over here. Today I'm going to discuss about the solar storms. As I told you that because of coronal mass ejection, the solar flare start traveling into the space. This contains gas, hot gases plus charged particle and electromagnetic radiation. But due to the massive gravity of the sun, what happened? The hot gases which get cooled during the course of journey start getting back and falling onto the sun's surface, where they create cooler patches which we call sunspot, and we have seen that how this sunspot cycle goes on. What happened to these charges, charged particle and gases? They happen to be, these charged particle and electromagnetic radiation. They happen to be massless. So, they are not going to be affected by the gravity of the sun. So, they start travel further into the space. They are traveling into the space and reaching to our solar system also, and obviously to our earth. Fine. So these radiations, when reaching onto the earth's surface, basically the earth is like this, and we have a magnet inside the earth. It is due to the heavy metals like iron and nickel, ferromagnetic compound over there in the core and outer core, and the outer core is in liquid state. This outer core is continuously churning because of the rotation of the earth, and churning of outer core amounts to genesis of electricity. And due to electromagnetic induction, there is a magnetic sphere around this earth. So this magnetosphere is what? Saving our earth from these harmful solar radiations. These are, I am showing the magnetic line of force which is very important in diverting the electromagnetic radiation reaching towards the earth. Which electromagnetic radiation? The strong electromagnetic radiation which happen to be called as solar storm. Solar storms. So when these solar storms are going to reach on the earth's surface, not exactly on the earth surface but in the atmosphere of the earth, they get diverted because of the polarity. Earth is going to have pole, north pole and south pole. That's why these storms get diverted towards the pole. If this pole would not be there, certainly the earth is going to confront the solar storms head on. Because of this polarity, the solar storm get diverted towards the pole and get deflected away from the earth. Less impact can be visible because of the magnetosphere. This magnetosphere. This magnetosphere is a protecting covering around the earth, and this magnetosphere basically protecting our atmosphere. Fine. When these strong solar storms, and these strong solar storm being stronger in which phase? Solar maxima phase. Solar maxima phase. So when there is a solar maxima phase, obviously more and more coronal mass ejection is taking place over there, and the solar storms are coming onto the earth's surface, and it is getting deflected by the pole, by the magnetic pole of the earth, and we are going to have less damage as expected. If this pole would not be there, I will tell you in the topic when we discuss about the evolution of atmosphere on the earth, I will tell you that this core, an outer core which is responsible for formation of magnetosphere or magnetism in earth was not there earlier, and these solar storms have stripped off the earth from the atmosphere despite of gravity. So there was a primordial atmosphere that has been given to the earth. I will discuss it later. Fine. That primordial atmosphere was stripped off because of these strong solar radiation, ionizing radiation. Okay. So magnetism is very much important for keeping the atmosphere safe. Fine. So this will be discussed later on. Here, concentrate over this solar storm, and these solar storms are reaching onto the upper atmosphere of the earth and deflected towards the pole because of magnetism. Let me give you another figure in which we are depicting earth's atmosphere, and earth is going to have atmosphere. There is a layer of atmosphere that is called as ionosphere. So once you see the zonation in our atmosphere, you will find there are different zone in our atmosphere. It starts from troposphere, then there is a stratosphere, then there is mesosphere, and then thermosphere or ionosphere. This is earth, and here it is ionosphere. This represent ionosphere. Almost 80 kilometer to 480 kilometer. This is the range over which you are going to have this ionosphere. When solar storms get deflected towards the pole, they reach to these ionosphere and they strike with the charged particle over there, because the ionosphere containing ions. This is North Pole, here it is South Pole. So these are solar storms reaching over there, and it is containing what? Electromagnetic radiation plus charges. So electromagnetic radiation is responsible for ionization of these gases. These gases consist of oxygen and nitrogen in abundance. Other gases are also present over there, but yes, it is in their ionic form. It has been splitted in their ionic form because of absorption of huge amount of energy coming from these solar storms. So what happened? These gaseous ion interacting with the charges, and the charge interaction give rise to beautiful lights over here, and these lights are called as auroras. Lights, that is called as auroras. Aurora borealis and aurora australis. Aurora borealis, North Pole, or you can say northern hemisphere in higher latitude. Aurora australis near South Pole are in southern hemisphere at higher latitude. So these are the aurora which is going to be visible in upper atmosphere. It is because of interaction of charges of solar storm as well as electromagnetic radiation by this solar storms. So these auroras can be seen on larger part of the earth, especially in the upper latitudinal country, higher latitudinal country, not upper, it is wrong. Higher latitudinal countries, you are going to have intense auroras. Means from temperate region, if the solar storm is going to be stronger, you are going to watch these aurora, they are occurring over there. Okay, so from Europe you can find it, even from Ladakh also. This year aurora has been seen because the Ladakh is somewhere in temperate region in India. Okay, so these intense aurora formation is the first impact that you will see because of the solar storms. Fine. We are also doing telecommunication by using this ionosphere that we call atmospheric telecommunication, by using the layer which is going to be formed in ionosphere. Canley heaviside layer, D layer, E layer, Appleton layer. These are the layer which is present in this ionosphere. And these layers are being utilized as a reflecting surface for atmospheric telecommunication. This atmospheric telecommunication are mostly utilized in air traffic control. And the irony of it is that Okay, if there is intense solar storm, these layer which is used as a reflecting surface get disrupted, disoriented, or there will be certain disequilibrium created over there. And in that case, the telecommunication, accurate telecommunication is not going to be established. So it can cause a panic, or you can say it can lead to accident also. And hence we must have the understanding of what the sun's surface. We must have the understanding, or we must have a, a, जिसको कहते हैं नजर रखना on the sun's surface, so that we can have the understanding, or we have the timetable of such kind of solar storms. This is the reason why ISRO have launched Aditya L1 mission, or you can say NASA have already sent this Parker mission. Why these missions are there? It is to understand the surface, to study the surface of the sun. If we have the idea that the coronal mass ejection is going to be massive, certainly Earth is going to receive massive solar storms. What will be the timing? Accordingly, we will manage our air traffic control, otherwise it can lead to accident also. Not only this, our satellites are being used as telecommunication as well as GPS. So satellite, telecommunication, and global positioning system. For GPS, we are using satellites, and satellite can also be disoriented because of strong solar storms, because they are electronic devices. So a strong solar storm may lead to disruption in the gyroscope, which is responsible for maintaining the orientation of the satellite. Sometime the orbit of the satellite can also be distorted, and this can happen because of the intense solar storms. So you are going to have disruption in satellite communication, disruption in GPS. Not only this, on the earth, the power grid can also be damaged by the strong solar storm. Basically, the damage or the impact of solar storm was traced way back from this Carrington phenomenon. Carrington, who was an astrophysicist in Britain, and he observed that the telegraph line was having current despite of switching of the batteries on some days, and the day was 1st and 2nd September 1859. Despite of switching off the battery or the source of the electricity in the telegraph line, the telegraph communication was continuous over there. This kind of observation was for the first time happen on this earth surface. Okay, how this telecommunication through telegraph, means telegraph communication is carried on despite of no current supplied from the source. So it was observed that the days of 1st and 2nd September 1859 was having intense solar storm. And that is intense solar storm is responsible for generating magnetic field around the conducting wire, and due to that, what happened, the current start flowing into the conducting wire, and this sustained the current for longer duration. As long as the solar storm is coming over the earth's surface, this phenomena is going on, and that's why that kind of solar storm is also called as Carrington class solar storm. Recently in 2012 this kind of solar storm was there on the earth's surface. Carrington class solar storms. So this kind of solar storms, intense solar storm, can disrupt power grid also. Power grid. So disruption in telecommunication, satellite communication, GPS, power grid, intense aurora can be seen. Fine. Not near equator, but yes, at higher latitude, and not least that today we are going through global warming. Global warming. And this is what anthropogenic induced global warming. After industrialization and you have this idea. So due to this global warming, we have already enhanced our average temperature. So extra heat, if provided to our environment, our atmosphere, this is going to be reflected in form of increased impacts of global warming. And whatever the impacts of global warming, whether it is intense cyclones, heat wave, cold wave, stronger jet streams, or erratic rainfall, this is going to be increased. Why? Because there is extra heat added to our uh, atmosphere. Extra heat is just like the ticklish in our body. If it is added to the atmosphere, certainly it is going to have repercussions. जैसे टिकले से आपको गुदगुदी हो तो पूरा शरीर हिलता है, ठीक वैसे ही ये एक्स्ट्रा हीट in form of intense solar storm can multiply the impact of global warming because we are going through it. Fine. So this is something that I wanted to tell you about the solar storm. Solar storm, nothing but that coronal mass ejection. You can just minus the hot gases because it was reversed back due to the gravity of the sun. Rest was charged particle and electromagnetic radiation being massless, unaltered, means not deterred by this gravity of the sun. They start moving further, they are reaching onto the earth, but earth is equipped with magnetosphere, the magnetic field around it, and due to that these strong solar storm get deflected towards the pole, and most of the solar storm go away from the earth, and once they are reaching onto the pole, they mix with the ionosphere, they reach to the ionosphere, and there is a charge interaction that will cause aurora australis, aurora borealis, and there are other repercussions we have discussed. I hope I made my point clear to you. Do take care of this because this is solar maxima phase 2024 to 27. This will be the prime phase of sun, the solar maxima, and this will be prime phase of yours also. You are also going to give your effort in UPSC, and many articles are going to be there in newspaper. So do take care of those articles. There will be some understanding over it. So please take care. And one thing more that I want to give you over here. Okay, this is equally important for your mains examination, for your prelims examination, optional, as well as this topic is also related with environment and ecology. So do take care carefully. Thank you very much.